Hi, everybody. Welcome to live. Welcome to live class tonight, everybody. I'm going to go live on Instagram right now, and we are going to get started. Hello, 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 everyone. Sorry, guys. Going live on Instagram. Okay. Tonight's class, I think I say this every class, but it's very important because they reflect the lessons I'm learning in my real life. And yeah, I'm excited. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm live on Instagram. Hello, everybody. Tonight we're going to be reading a different book about not being a victim. It's my first time reading this book, so I'm very excited. And yeah, I'm excited. Oh my God, I'm excited. Hello, everybody. Hello, Instagram. Hello, TikTok. Tonight's masterclass is going to be about the truth, about how most people in life expect goodness out of life because they're a good person, but because of that expectation, they're not really showing up as good people in the world. The world doesn't owe you anything because you learned how to love yourself. Are you still loving and kind and compassionate in the face of things you don't like? I just had to do it, guys. 5 minutes before hopping on live. Not even. Who can stand in the face of things that are annoying or frustrating or stupid, whatever labels you want to give it? Things that don't align with your expectations, right? Because nothing is really wrong. And still be filled with love and compassion for said situation. So because a lot of people believe they are victims and life is happening to them instead of for them, we do have a lot of spiritually enlightened, wise people, right? Walking around still disconnected from humanity because of their expectations. And I'm here to just break down those walls because I had to walk it. I had to live it. I'm just going to jump right in, guys. You guys know how we do. I want a structure because I feel like every class is like a story time. Like I'm walking you guys through a story time, but hey, this is what we have for now. No structure, no rules. So yeah, guys, just right now with my sister, a little spider was in her bathroom and, she was screaming, chaotic. I understand that feeling. And just pretty much trying to like manipulate me into getting it. Please do this. This is the one that you didn't kill from the other day. Just putting on a performance, even though I was going to kill it anyway. Or, excuse me, that's not true, even though I was going to remove it anyway. And so I did. I got it and put it outside. My point is, I could have thought so many things about her. It's these little situations, guys. We don't have to be dramatic. It's these little situations. I just had the opportunity to choose fear because I would be coming here on live. I had the opportunity to choose fear. I didn't. I chose compassion and understanding. I know what it's like to be afraid of a bug. She's had to help me too a few times. All because my reactions look different. I'm no better than her. There is no difference. She's a past mirror of me. Right? You are not a victim. Okay, but we're going to dive deeper into that tonight. And the book just arrived today, my beautiful people. This book is called The Garden of My Mind. Now, if you guys have been here as I've been reading Roshanna's work, if you guys don't know, Shanna Star, Roshanna Alvarado, she's an incredible woman who left everything that she knows behind so she could embark on a journey back to self-love from a divine foundation. No drugs, No outside resources, just her ability to trust herself. And so this book, it arrived in the mail today. And guys, I'll never lie to you. The first chapter is called The Victim. Look, guys, can't make this up. The Victim. And I'll show you guys too here on Instagram, guys. The Victim. So I get my package, I open this up, I see that's chapter 1, and I said, okay, I'm going to read it for the first time with my students because, wow. I mean, what more can you do, guys? So before I actually dive in, I made a post, kind of like a teaser to this masterclass, pretty much expressing how, again, I'll circle back, just because you're a good person doesn't mean that the world owes you goodness. Once you fill yourself up with the same love and consideration and grace that you're craving from the world, because you're simply craving yourself, you wouldn't care about people disrespecting you unless you disrespected yourself. You wouldn't care about not receiving that smile unless you weren't filled with that joy yourself. The ego can only be triggered and judge things where it feels lack. So in turn, you're actually judging yourself. Damn, that person didn't smile at me. Damn, they honked at me in traffic. Damn, that person was rude. But when in your life were you that same thing? And did you love yourself enough? Did you give yourself enough to transform that? So then, as I learned from Roshanna, you become a witness to these things instead of a victim, right? You can then see these things. You can see reality, guys. There's darkness here. That's what we're here to change and transform by loving ourselves. Can you see darkness and not take it personal? Can you see darkness and not be a victim, but rather be a witness and then choose compassion? Okay? That's the difference. The victim makes everything personal, and the victim allows the outside world to control how they show up into the world. Versus someone who is a true vessel of love, they allow themselves to witness what's going on, but they choose to love and accept it, because that's all darkness needs. Chaotic, mean, angry, disgusting people are that way because they've never been loved. So now let's take all the words that I just used to describe them, and let's take those away and say, oh, they're only human. Because in what ways was I chaotic, angry, disgusting? In what ways have I shown up in the world that I'm not proud of? They are me, but because I've made changes, I can now show up and love them instead of judging that they may not be the nicest. Yeah? So guys, in your life, where are you casting judgment? What situation? What person? What belief? What thoughts, what feelings are you judging? Sit with that and then ask yourself, in which ways have I shown up in life the same ways? Okay? That's step 1 to breaking down this victim complex. Let's break it down. Life isn't happening to you. Life is you. Period. Okay, guys? I had to learn that on various levels of dark things I had to face about myself, guys. Dark, ugly, shameful things I had to admit within myself. Even fears. Believing I had to keep certain fears alive in my mind so I could keep overcoming things. It's an addiction. The victim complex is an addiction. Why can't you just live a happy life consistently? You know what I mean? Guys, I'm talking, these are all the lessons I just learned within a week about myself. What is that addiction to sorrow, or not even to triumph, to creating situations in your mind that you have to overcome. Guys, tonight we're going to let go. Tonight we're going to let go. And not only that, we're going to build a new future. And guys, as I'm saying this, we already let go. How reality works is you can say something. You can let something go. You can declare any change to the universe. You know, you have free will. You can say whatever you want. But reality still takes time to materialize what you're believing. Okay, so it takes time. It's kind of like a laggy computer. Like you can put in a new code, but give the computer some time to actually embody how you reprogrammed it. That's the same thing with life, right? You can say anything you want. You can create anything you want. And then the next day you will be faced with opportunities to embody what you're believing. And then slowly your reality changes. That's how this works. So if you wake up tomorrow and you're faced with the same situation you didn't like yesterday, simply show up tomorrow and make a different decision. The brain is conditioned to say, oh my God, this again? Did I take steps back? Am I really changing? Am I really healing? Love says, God says, creation says, the universe says, you asked for this. So here's the situation again. Be different. Guys, I just went through it. I encountered a situation that I thought I completely outgrew. And immediately the victim complex came back. Immediately. Oh my God, why me? I did so much work all these months. I'm happy now. I'm different now. Why again? Guys, the universe is saying, are you really different? And turns out I still had some letting go to do. I still did. Doesn't mean I didn't change, but there was more that had to change. And that's life. Okay, guys, so, all right, you're not a victim, and reality is a spiral. But, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. Okay, let me open the damn book. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, tonight I'll be reading The Garden of My Mind, which is a book I received today in the mail from the same author of Love, the Real Word of God, Shanna Star. You can find her work in my bio. Just click the link and it'll send you to Amazon along with my other links where you can get her work directly. Okay, guys, the first chapter in this is The Victim, which is how I knew tonight I had to read it for you guys. So let's do this together. This is the book. Okay. Garden of My Mind, a collection of experiences, written and illustrated by Shanna Star. Guys, also, when I say Roshanna, Shanna, same person. Her name is Roshanna. All right, guys. The truth about being the victim, or claiming to be, when not one person in existence is a victim. I know that is hard to hear because cruel things happen to people who don't deserve it. We're going to get into that. Okay, guys. The Victim. I'm about to start reading. Okay. Trigger warning. Truth. Tune out now. If ego rules you, tune out now. If you don't want to take responsibility, tune out now. If you don't want to be free, you ask who wouldn't want to be free. Many claim they want freedom, but find solstice in the victim mentality. Get angry if you must. Empower the victim within. We all know it's how you get attention. Guys. Wait. Okay, this is, again, let me say it again. This is my first time reading this book. It came in the mail today. Okay. I didn't know it would be like this. And guys, if I'm reading a bit choppy, a bit slow, it's because she wrote it in this manner. So that explains my cadence. Y'all, it's spicy. The truth isn't so pretty, but that's what the soul loves. The soul craves this. Okay? Nobody tends to the warrior, for she need not to be saved. To be a warrior, you must be independent, choosing to be brave. But the victim has demands. If not met, all in her path will pay. She will force responsibility for her woes on you. She demands empathy, demands apology, demands aid. Who would choose to be the warrior? When the victim is waited on, hand and foot, to keep her from derailing from the path she set en route. The warrior has become a victim to the darkest extremes. The difference between her and the victim, she needs no validation for her purpose, her being. Wow, guys. The victim will never be satisfied, even when all have succumbed to her beck and calls. She will remain the victim because that's the foundation where she stands tall. Maybe you have so many expectations in your life because that's where you find power. When we look at choosing love for ourselves, when we recognize, okay, I'm different, I'm changing. Now, subconsciously, you expect everybody in your life to change for the better. Maybe you're forcing your wisdom upon them. You're saying little slick remarks about their own individual choices. That's the thing with free will, guys. Everybody has the right to do what they want with their life, even if it leads them to death. We have to come to an understanding that we can love and pour and help people, absolutely. But once you've given your all and you watch people continue to choose to hurt themselves, you must love them enough to allow them to choose what they want. Otherwise, you're being controlling, just like I've been. My 16-year-old sister decided to go plant-based. And so since being home, it's been a huge journey of cooking every meal twice a day in the kitchen for a while. It's crazy to say that out loud. And then gradually teaching her to cook. And then gradually weaning her off of relying on me to be her provider, to be her mother, to be this source of comfort for her. So it's been happening in stages. I'm sharing this because I wanted to control her. I saw her potential. I knew what she needed. So I would say little slick things to try to coerce her brain into making certain decisions. How many of us do that? I don't think you should do that, Mom. Babe, babe, no, maybe we can go this way. Why do you need to control everything and everybody, all because you know what's best for people? We have to let that go, guys. We have to let that go. Because that's still empowering control, which is the ego. That's not love. For those of you who are religious here, right? I don't know what teachings, maybe the Bible. There's something about like let people, I don't know. I don't want to mistalk because I don't know anything about religion, so screw that. But I was just going to give a reference about just allowing people to be who they want to be, because that's true love. In Shanna's other book, Love, the Real Word of God, last class, I believe, we read about how her partner, how she had to leave him, knowing that she was his lifeline. She left knowing that without her presence, he could pass away. That's true love. That's the truth humanity's been taken away from. Love is not attachment, expectations. If you truly want to walk a path of love, you have to really accept everybody's choices and allow them to be who they are. Okay? And it's your attachment to wanting them to be different that makes you a victim. It's your attachment, why aren't they listening to me? That creates this victim complex in your brain that's fueled by ego and control. That's not a loving voice. That's control. Okay? You guys got this. Let's keep going. This chapter is cutthroat, which is so refreshing. To me, at least. Okay, guys. So I'm going to reread the last sentence. So, her beckon calls, she will remain the victim because that's the foundation where she stands tall. The victim must rise and address the depths of their pain. Forced empathy from others will always be in vain, leading the victim nowhere but another stage in life where the battle never ends because it's in her own mind. Get mad if you must. This is not to say you deserved trauma, but as an adult with consciousness, free will, you are now the source of your drama. Oh my gosh. Whoa, guys. I'm going to read that again. Get mad if you must. This is not to say you deserved trauma, but as an adult with consciousness, free will, you are now the source of your drama. When I first posted this on Instagram, I posted just a short video of me saying like to have expectations, you'll be unhappy. Something along those lines. Someone commented, it's not that I have expectations, but I just want to be left alone when I want to be left alone. Something like that. There was a button there, so you're still choosing to be a victim. You are now the source of your drama. This may be hard to admit, guys, but the only person that's creating drama in your life is you. I could have easily pulled the victim card because of how much stuff I had to endure in my life. But once I started to understand energy and how things repeat because they haven't been met with love, I was able to change certain things. So guys, a bit about that, because I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm also going to tell you where it originates from. You are now the source of your drama. So in this lifetime, if you find yourself repeatedly in dramatic, chaotic, abusive, terrible situations, but you feel like you're this good person, here's the truth. In other lifetimes, you have done the same thing to other people, which is why it's here to meet you in this lifetime again, so you can transform it with love. I'm going to say that again, guys. If you find yourself in crazy situations in this lifetime, but you've done the work, you've changed, you've healed, you've done all the good things, you're experiencing that because that was you in a past life. And now you have the power to completely transform that. Okay? So guys, as I said, I went through some crazy shit. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And it wasn't until I met Shanna where she was able to see every traumatic thing that happened to me in life, I have done to somebody else in a past life. Okay? That's how energy works. We come here to Earth knowing what we're meant to endure. Part of that reason is because we once embodied it before. We once chose it consciously as a human being before. Okay? So this is how deep that victim complex goes. Because once you understand the truth of energy of all things, You can then say, oh man, it's impossible for things to just happen to me because I've once done it to somebody, regardless of if I remember or not. The truth will never change as much as you can deny it. Doesn't mean it's not true. You look up and the sky's blue. I can say, no, it's not, but it's still blue. You know? Guys, that was the one catalyst that really helped me with forgiving people in my life that I felt had done me so wrong. I had the mother issues, the daddy issues, issues in my family, issues with friendships. You can only experience what you are. So because these things are in your reality, that means that at some point you embodied that. Oh, I'm not chaotic now. Oh, I'm not crazy now. I'm not the angry guy that cursed me out in the grocery store. At some point you were. That's why it's in your reality. Who will you be in front of that angry man that cursed you out? Will you just let him? Will you remember the times you were so angry you lost your mind? Will you remember the time that you had nothing to give, so you couldn't smile that day? And then choose to love him? Genuinely. Or will you curse him out back, perpetuating the same anger and disgust that you're judging in him? You guys get it? This is what reality is. Reality isn't one thing. Reality is all things. You are all things. And if you don't understand the source of the chaos you're experiencing, I hope that this could help a bit. Don't fear it. Don't fear, oh my God, what's happening to me. Really think about who you've been in this lifetime and when you've been chaotic. Okay? Wow. So, back to the book. Whew, back to the book, guys. This is not to say you deserved trauma, but as an adult with consciousness and free will, you are now the source of your drama. The screenplay you call life has become an act. The payday isn't money, but attention, because being the victim is how you keep your company. I totally wanted attention. Man. Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay, let's keep going. It is a choice now to let go. Let go of the memory. Let go of the fear. Or you will consistently attract all that keeps destruction near. Let go of the need for an apology. Seek instead to understand yourself at a level so deep that you understand the actions of all humanity. Wow. Guys, let go of the need for an apology. Seek instead to understand yourself at a level so deep that you understand the actions of all of humanity. That's so beautiful. Wow, I'm going to highlight that. Again, guys, this is my first time reading this book as well. It came in the mail today. So, this is great. When you understand yourself, it's impossible to misunderstand who's in front of you. It's impossible, energetically. Because I understand why I was miserable, I don't judge miserable people. And I've encountered them recently, these past 2 days. These past 2 days, since declaring that I'm not a victim, I've been given opportunities by the universe to show up, not as a victim. Guys, I was taking a walk, sweet little walk, and there's a new grocery store opening like a minute walk from my house, less than a minute. And like the employees were like, I guess sitting outside, you know, whatever, chilling. I asked to use the garbage can. The lady barely wanted to talk to me, but she told me I could. And then I'm walking and I asked one of the employees, I said, when do you guys open? She looked me right in the eye. She said, next Thursday. I said, okay, like, wow, like, cool. All right, take care. And then a guy who she was talking to, he said something like, oh, like, she not finna come, or, sorry guys, that's slang. Finna is slang. Let me slow down. He said, like she's not gonna show up, or she's not gonna come. And then the lady laughed and said, yeah, she looked me right in the eye. So guys, before I could even pass, they were talking about me, badly about me. And the ego was triggered. But then I had to take accountability and say, Camila, when in your life were you that? I had a best friend of 10 years. Okay, she was from Ecuador. She spoke Spanish. I learned Spanish. In Spanish, we would talk badly about people when they were right there. I'm just going to let that sit. We would be at track practice, like stretching in a circle with other teammates. And because we didn't like them, whatever, we would be talking badly about them in a different language. That was high school me, guys. All these years later, that energy, remember guys, the spiral, everything in life will meet you again. You have to give it different energy this time. You have to. The same energy met me yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Do you see, guys, how I could not have been a victim to people talking badly about me when I've done the same thing in this lifetime? I'm not even referencing other lifetimes. I also had to have compassion and understanding, because I understand the roots of my misery and why I would do that to other people, despite who the people were. I could have compassion for them, and then I let it go. This is how we choose love, guys. So just as the book says, seek instead to understand yourself at a level so deep that you understand the actions of all of humanity. This is true love. We need people who understand themselves so much that nothing in their presence can be unshakable. No, you understand the root of it. Okay, we all good, guys? I love you so much. We're only on page 1, 2, 3. This book is good. It's a mixture of poetry, honesty. I hope it's easy for you guys to understand. Okay, guys, let's see. Oh, this is the last. Okay, these are the last 2 paragraphs. Okay. It is in understanding your own oneness with all, you will rise from the hole where the victims dwell. Let go of ego, the need to feel important. Rise to the warrior within. Free yourself from your mental prison. You are the warden. Mic drop. Y'all, if I could do a backflip, I'd do it right now on camera. I would do it right now, y'all. I could do a cartwheel, but in this tight room. Y'all, I'm going to read it one more time. Let go of ego, the need to feel important. Rise to the warrior within. Free yourself from your mental prison. You are the warden. Guys, to be completely honest, my own personal struggle has been reprogramming my subconscious mind into believing that I'm free. I had a dream where I was told to choose something. Like I was at a market or something, and let's just say fruits. I'm not being completely honest because I don't remember clearly. I don't remember if it was fruits. But something, I had to choose something, but I settled for the lesser price. Or I settled for like less of what was being offered for me. And then the man at the stand said, like, Kamela, you still don't see how big you are. And this is very vulnerable for me to say, guys. There's 400 of you here and 2 on Instagram. Thanks to the 2 who are here. Let's go. Let's go. This is big for me to admit, but I have to because I'm human. And this is what the world needs, vulnerability. Again, guys, I'm not some guru. Woo! I'm a human being, you know? Part of believing that you are a victim is you not seeing how special you really are. And that may sound cliche or like, duh. But when you look at what we've been taught, especially when you're on the spiritual path, I keep reminding you guys that my awakening wasn't from a pure foundation. And when I say a pure foundation, that just means choosing day one to love myself and then doing that repeatedly. You know, most people in this lifetime awakened by force. Maybe they took a drug, weed, whatever it is that opened their consciousness to more knowledge and truth. It wasn't done by just loving themselves. That's the pure way. That's the way Shanna did it. And so in my remembering now from a foundation of love and not from darkness, because I had tons of information, but I didn't know how to let go of creating dark, chaotic situations in my life. Guys, I'm saying this up until January 2026. You guys are a part of my rebirth. This is where I'm meant to be. But see, I was traveling the world for 2 years and consciously creating hellish situations because I was so focused on them. I was addicted to being a victim and overcoming, creating a problem, then overcoming, creating a problem and overcoming. And that's where I found taking my power back. When the truth says, free yourself from your mental prison, you are also the warden. This means that you have complete control over what you create. At any time, at any moment in your life. Therefore, it's impossible for you to be a victim to life unless you create it. Unless you create it. So guys, I say that all to say, back to relation of seeing how special you are, you have to understand what energy really is. Like to hear somebody say you are the core of everything in your reality, that can sound play. Like, what does that even mean? Well, all of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are what you see in your reality today. Simple. And if you don't like what you see, you can always change your mind. I'm still overcoming the victim complex. It's really a matter of seeing your worth outside of hardship and pain and drama. What is your worth outside of suffering? What is your worth outside of overcoming problems? Ooh, I need to write that down. Have my journal right here, guys, in arm's reach. I don't play. Hold on. See, guys, we're all learning together. It's so beautiful. It's safe here. Okay, guys, so if you have a pen and paper, I encourage you to write this down as well. Maybe type it in your notes. What is your worth outside of overcoming trauma? What is your worth outside of overcoming trauma. And guys, if I'm going to be honest, like, I have cracked the code. I have found ways to be happy. Part of realizing your worth outside of being the superhero and self-sacrificing and all these things is to just focus on what makes you happy every day. Literally, guys, if it's coloring, buy an adult coloring book. If it's singing, sing all day. It's these little things. What would you be doing right now in your life if your focus wasn't money? Write that down too, guys. If you have the resources to write it down or type it in your notes, what would you be doing right now if it wasn't for the money? Start doing that every day, and you will realize how much control you have over your life. Because slowly your mindset will shift, your attitude will shift, your feelings will shift. When you are in a state of joy, it's impossible for ego to infiltrate that. Ego will try to steal your joy. Why are you doing that, Sarah? This is boring. This is a waste of time. You're not making money from this. This is stupid. You liked it when you were a kid. Why do you like it now? You have bills to pay. You don't have time to paint. You have kids to raise. You don't have time to go jogging at the park. You don't have time to learn how to do the splits like you always wanted to do when you were a little girl. All of it is bullshit. When you were a little boy, you don't have time to play with those monster trucks or paint your nails, whatever you want to do. The ego will always try to infiltrate your mind with things that aren't true. It is your job as a human being with consciousness and free will to say no, and then to act in that no. You can say no, but you also have to show up with action as well. You also have to show up in action. Wow. This is so beautiful, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but the truth sets me on fire. There is nothing I can be told about myself today that would anger me. If anything, I welcome the blunt, hard, eye contact truth. Because what we need to recognize, guys, is that the people who are honest with us love us the most. The people who are willing to tell us a truth that we don't like are the ones who love us enough to not live in delusion. Humanity has become so soft. Oh, that hurt my feelings. No, the ego is bothered that it now has to be released. So guys, in relation to being the victim, you have to ask yourself as well, why are you always triggered? I feel like this is the one for a lot of people. Why are you always triggered? What gives you the right to be bothered by life being itself? What gives you the right to be bothered by life being itself? You can't complain about a world, but then judge it as well. You are the problem. You can't not like how the world is, but then condemn it. I mean, you're really hating your reflection. You are the world. So guys, if you're new here, it was a short chapter. I read The Garden of My Mind by Shanna Star. You can find the link in my bio to all her work. Her books are the only thing that's helped me save my life from a genuine foundation. Because she learned how to love herself from a genuine foundation. Guys, for some reason, I'm being called to share with you my experiences with her in person because When you're around somebody that genuinely loves themselves, what happens is you then temporarily rise to their frequency because everything is one thing. So in relation to when people are bad for you, or when, the energy is maybe at a lower frequency, you feel that. The human experience is sentient. We feel, right? Forget what you see. What you feel is what's really happening. So when I'm around Shanna, when anybody is, they are then facing a mirror of their highest potential. Because one human being learned to love themselves so much that they understand everybody in their presence. When you're in her presence, you feel a love you've never felt before. And so how she's helped me, how her work has helped me. Guys, I'm not making a dime from this. Okay, I'm not a brand ambassador. I'm not, I'm not an influencer. No, I'm just someone who really likes her work. And I'm a good friend. She's an awesome friend to me because she loved me so much that I remembered that I was deserving of it. And I hope I can do the same for you. You see, humanity believes they have to hit a rock bottom in order to start loving themselves. But I'm here to say it doesn't have to be hard for you, because there's people who have carried the weight that you may never see, but you feel. And if it wasn't for her loving me, my darkest secrets, the ugliest, guys, I was not a nice person. But because I was loved by one person, I was inspired to love myself so much that I never lost that feeling. Genuine love. Shanna didn't expect anything from me. And we need more vessels that don't expect from the other person. Show up and love people without expecting them to love you. Be so full of love and grace for yourself, for all the things you're ashamed of right now. Be honest about them. And then forgive yourself for acting in the only ways that you knew. Everybody is just doing what they've been taught. I think you know that you deserve love. Give it to yourself and then maybe share it. But the sharing part comes after. That's not really the priority. Again, I say it kind of every class, because you are love. You are infiltrating consciousness. So what you believe will get out into the universe, and it will impact other people, because everything is one thing. If Shanna didn't believe that someday somebody would share her work, she wouldn't have published 20 books in 1 year. Oh, wait, hold on, mate. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Okay, no, sorry. It wasn't in 1 year. She has a total of over 20 books, but she releases more than one in 1 year. Sorry, guys. I'm human. I got too passionate. But yeah, we just have to believe that we are bigger, because you've been taught to believe you are small. Nothing outside of you will love you like you can. No partner, no child, no animal. Nothing in life can make you feel a way that you already don't feel within yourself. Which again, guys, say it with me, that makes you not a victim. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the chapter was short, but it was clear. I'm trying to think, what else do I need to say? Is this necessary? That's the cool thing too, guys, about not having a script, a schedule. Everything is just flowing through me as it needs to. Yeah, because too much information at once is the problem with humanity. Too overindulgent and confused. When really all you have to do is listen to yourself. Guys, let me say this. If at any point it doesn't feel right being here, leave. Leave. Listen to you. Don't listen to me. Listen to you. You are your salvation. Okay? So, yeah, I just encourage you guys to really look into Roshanna's books. I remember being at a point in my journey where I didn't want to live anymore. And I'm sure all of us have hit that bottom. Sadly, I'm saying that so casually. But her books, as you guys can see, I had the topic of talking about being the victim today. And the first chapter of a brand new book that I got today is about being the victim. Her books, because they're written from a higher place, from divinity, the information will always reach you at every point of your journey for the rest of your life. That is how cool this is, guys. This is a piece of work that cannot be replicated because it's been done from a divine perspective. And by divine perspective, I just mean in complete authenticity. You are God. As you are operating in your most authentic, you are embodying the energy of creation itself. Nobody is more powerful than a being who is fearlessly themselves, no matter what they're in the face of, which is the complete opposite of a victim. Okay, guys, so my closing thoughts for this class, I kind of just think I said a lot, but I want to repeat, listen to you. You know deep down inside what you're choosing to hold on to, what you're choosing to believe about other people. You know deep down inside what needs to leave. But hopefully after this class, you understand the importance of why it needs to go. Okay? And so thank you for all you share and all that you are. I love you, Hilly Millie. Thank you for joining. Bye. I'm closing out anyway. Thank you so much for being here. You stayed for the whole thing pretty much. Oh, you guys are so sweet. And sorry I don't read comments, guys. I'll get distracted. So that's why I don't. But hopefully I do hope to make this more hands-on and engaging with you guys. Hopefully. Goodbye. Bye, guys. Yeah, my closing thoughts are to trust yourself. You're tired of repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. And I feel like deep down inside, you knew that you were creating them, but you were hitting a block. And that block will always say ego. It will always be the ego. The ego is always that voice that's perpetuating negativity. It will try to steal your joy. Do not accept the ego as you. Oh man, why do I keep thinking these negative things? Why do I? Understand that the work you've done to love yourself is real. And that also you're not crazy. You are hearing those thoughts, but don't accept them as yours. I'm not saying to be delusional. Be honest with the negative things that you hear and that you feel. But don't be so quick to give up your identity to negativity. It's not natural to the human being. We really are just meant to be naked eating grapes and frolicking in meadows. And like, this is real. Like, heaven is not something like so far obtainable in our own right as individuals that are comfortable in our own authenticity, that know that we have complete control over our reality at any given moment. Heaven exists. And guys, as I said earlier, start doing what makes you happy daily. Any excuse comes from ego, something that doesn't want you happy and wants control over your life. This is what's had dominion over the human race for eons. For eons. But the energy of love is back. We're here. We're not going anywhere because enough human beings have chosen to love themselves. Humanity as a collective has risen to a consciousness where these truths need to be spoken. Okay? So hopefully you guys understand more about where your chaos may originate, if not from this lifetime, from others. Hopefully you guys understand why you may be still choosing to be the victim, whether it's for attention, for power, it's your identity, overcoming hardship and then doing it all over again. The struggle isn't real, babe. You're creating it. Okay? The struggle is not real. You're creating it. And with that, guys, I think that's how we're going to end class today. Okay? Okay, my sweet people. I love you so much. Thank you guys for joining. Again, one last time, if you're interested in checking out her work, you can check out the link in my bio. It'll send you to Amazon. You can read through whichever books. I usually read Love the Real Word of God for you guys. Parts 1 through 5. I have all 5 books. But this one is a poetry book, you know, about harsh truths, but like that are like just straight to it, you know. This is what I read for you guys tonight. Link in my bio. Okay? And guys, like I'm just gonna be brave because we're talking about the victim complex and stuff, but I'm not gonna be dramatic. I got visions of doing this full time. So I'm gonna be vulnerable and say that I am moving soon out of state to go to college, out of my childhood home. And I want to teach full time. So I got the idea for this to be donation based. What you give is what I earn. And if you don't give at all, I still feel honored to be here because I'm alive and I have the privilege of helping so many people. So if you would like to donate, you can. It feels so weird saying this, but I have to be honest about myself and my visions for myself. The link is in my bio as well for that, if you feel called to. If not, I still love you the same, and I'm still going to show up for you just the same. Always. So yeah, guys, everything you need is in my bio. And I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Until next time, my beautiful people, I will see you in a few days. Remember, listen to you first. Listen to yourself first. Okay, guys. Toodaloo.